Hey folks, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, we have some very big news, and it's actually global news. We're going to talk about Japan, UK, and much more, even Dubai, because we're seeing crypto getting adopted globally. And I've often stated that crypto is the first truly global asset class that is trading 24/7, and because of the blockchain, anyone can access it. Right now, certain people around the world cannot access the New York Stock Exchange or certain stocks, but if they have a smartphone and internet connection, they can access Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. The barrier of entry is very low, so we are seeing on-ramps being set up globally for more capital to come into this asset class, and we're going to see higher prices as a result. Here's the first news item. SBI Bank outlines plans to launch Japan's first Bitcoin and XRP dual ETF. This is very interesting, and we know that SBI has been a big investor in crypto. They're a bank conglomerate. I think they're called SBI Group, if I'm not mistaken, and they've been investing in Bitcoin mining. They've invested in Ripple. They're big believers in XRP as well. And the fact that they're launching a joint ETF here is very fascinating because these are two of the top three assets, right? You got Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. So Japanese financial giant SBI Holdings plans to launch the country's first dual asset cryptocurrency exchange traded fund, also known as the ETF, offering exposure to both Bitcoin and XRP. In its earnings report Thursday, the company outlined plans for two crypto-based ETFs. The first product proposal combines gold and crypto asset ETFs bundled in a trust. Now, this other ETF is even more fascinating because you have gold, which is a traditional asset, mixed with crypto. And I think we're going to see a lot of folks get creative with these assets because we've often talked about crypto is the best performing asset class. Paul Tudor Jones, he gave the analogy that crypto is the fastest horse in the race among the other assets, right? It's outperforming the stock market, real estate, and precious metals. But these firms may want to combine and say, hey, you can get access to all of them or two of them and things like that. And I think getting creative will help bring in different types of investors. So according to the company, this would allocate 51% into gold-based ETFs and 49% into crypto asset ETFs, such as Bitcoin ETFs. This will be publicly offered as an investment trust in Japan. The second proposal combines two top cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and XRP. The company plans to list this product on the Tokyo Stock Exchange, the largest stock exchange in Japan. For my OG subscribers, remember when I was telling you crypto will be trading on the stock markets? Here it is. It's coming to fruition right before us, folks. And this is going to happen on the NASDAQ, on the New York Stock Exchange, and every major stock exchange around the world. Now, there are ETFs already on other stock exchanges around the world, like to the Toronto Stock Exchange, and there's others in Europe as well, because they've already moved further along. We got delayed because of scumbag regulator Gary Gensler and Elizabeth Warren as well. But now things are starting to ramp up here in the United States. But folks, this is very bullish. Again, more on-ramps being built around the globe for more capital to come into this asset class. So this is very bullish. Here's some more bullish XRP news. XRP Custody goes live for Korean institutions via BDACS amid strong interest. So again, you're seeing global demand for these crypto assets. So South Korean crypto custodian BDACS has launched institutional custody support for XRP following its February partnership agreement with Ripple. The move provides institutions with regulated access to one of the world's most actively traded digital assets. The rollout, announced via BDACS X account on Tuesday, enables institutions to securely store and manage XRP using Ripple Custody, Ripple's enterprise-grade custody solution. Here's a quote: "We're thrilled to offer custody support for XRP, one of the most popular digital assets in Korea, to our institutional clients," BDACS wrote. "This launch strengthens our long-standing partnership with Ripple and underscores our commitment to the Korean market." Now, key words there: institutional client, not retail. Retail already has access, but they're opening the doors and the floodgates for institutional capital to come in. Again, look at the macro picture here because more capital is going to come in driving the value of these blockchains and their native assets higher. Obviously, it's not just the speculation part, but the building as well. It's a combination of speculation and building, right? As some will say, utility. So this is very bullish. And if you're an XRP holder, you should be very happy. I know there's a lot of XRP haters and they're going to be very angry about this. You will probably see them write comments, nasty comments in the comment section. But look, the free market does not care about people's emotions and feelings. What it cares about is their demand, is their utility. Can people build on this blockchain? And clearly there's demand. We're seeing it around the globe. Now, quick word from our sponsor, folks, and that is Trezor. Trezor makes beautiful hardware wallets that make it easy for you to self-custody your crypto assets. I'm a user of the product. I personally use the Trezor Save 5. Trezor, they were the pioneers of the hardware wallet. They created this whole setup and they created the seed phrase setup as well. And their hardware wallets are open source and they support a variety of tokens. So I'm talking Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, all the top altcoins and even new altcoins and even institutional tokenized coins like BlackRock's BUIDL. So that's pretty amazing that they support all these things. And they have a great software suite called Trezor Suite, which helps you to manage your coins. So it's pretty easy to use. They also have a hand-holding service, so you can talk to a customer service rep from Trezor to help you onboard and get your wallet set up. They're not going to ask for your private keys, obviously, right? They're going to make sure they keep that part out. But if you need help in just walking through the setup and the logistics of the device, they will help you to do that. Folks, you can use my code ThinkingCrypto. That's all one word, ThinkingCrypto, to get 5% off. So if you'd like to learn more about Trezor's products, check out the link in the description. Now, some more big news. This one out of Dubai. Dubai officially approves the first crypto options license. So we're seeing regulations, licenses, and guardrails being put into place around the world, again, for more participation in the asset class. And a lot of this is for retail, but also institutional investors. So it will allow more capital to come in as these licenses and regulations and clarity is being provided. Because, you know, a lot of the institutional investors, they're sitting on the sidelines waiting for the clarity. They don't want to touch things where they could be at risk of getting a lawsuit or, you know, there's no protections in place. So once you have the infrastructure elements in place, it will allow these folks to get off the sidelines and start investing. And like I said, more on-ramps being built. So this is very bullish. So here's the details for that news I just shared. Nomura's Laser Digital to launch the first regulated OTC desk for crypto options in Dubai. Now, OTC is over the counter. So these are transactions that are done, buying and selling that is done outside of the market. So it's not recorded on the open market. So usually a lot of whales, you know, they go buy directly. And while the transaction is recorded on the blockchain, is not recorded by the market makers and the open market as to move the price. So you definitely have to keep that in mind that as these institutions are buying, many of them are doing it via OTC. So the limited license will allow Laser Digital to offer OTC crypto options to institutional clients under strict oversight, the company said Wednesday. OTC desks allow institutions to trade large volumes of digital assets directly with counterparties, minimizing slippage and enabling more flexible pricing. These desks are typically used by hedge funds, asset managers, trading firms, and other high-volume institutional clients. So folks, things are moving ahead here around the globe. Now, let's jump to the UK. The UK allows retail access to crypto ETNs, signals push to become a crypto hub. So the UK has been losing some crypto business to the United States since the United States opened up from a regulatory and having a more friendlier environment, of course, because a lot of firms had left the United States under the Gensler Elizabeth Warren regime. And now a lot of them are coming back. So UK is trying to win some of the business back and keep folks there. So the United Kingdom financial regulator lifted a ban on crypto exchange traded notes, CETNs, for retail investors in a move welcomed by industry leaders as a step toward aligning the UK with the global crypto markets as a digital asset hub. On Friday, the UK's Financial Conduct Authority, FCA, reversed the ban on retail access to CETNs with regulatory changes taking effect from October 8th. The ban was enforced in January 2021, citing extreme volatility and the lack of legitimate investment need. So lifting the CETN ban reflects a change in the regulator's approach to crypto assets. In a statement, an FCA executive said the decision reflected how the market had evolved and how crypto-related products are better understood. Game theory is playing out here. If they don't do it, I've often said they're going to hurt their own economy because crypto and blockchains will be powering the rails for the markets, governments, and economies. And there's a lot of capital looking to come into this market and people looking to trade and invest and build. And if the UK continues to ban stuff, they're going to lose out on tax revenue and businesses and jobs and much more. So this is a great sign to see this happening. Some more news out of the UK here. Satsuma secures $218 million, including $125 million in Bitcoin to advance Bitcoin strategy. So London-listed tech firm Satsuma Technology locked in over 163 million British pounds, which is equivalent to $217.6 million in gross proceeds from its second convertible loan note round, with nearly $125 million settled in Bitcoin. The raise, which closed on July 28th, overshot its minimum $129 million target by more than 63%. See the demand here, folks? And again, this is overseas. This is not here in the United States, which has the largest capital market. Driven by strong interest from crypto native and traditional institutional investors, the company said in a Wednesday announcement. Key words there: traditional institutional investors. All of the old guards are getting ready to come in. They want a piece of this market, guys. And I hope you see what is happening here. I hope you're paying attention, right? This is not made up news. This is factual information here. And I hope it's resonating and you are putting it into your storage unit of why you should be bullish on crypto, right? So let me share a quote here. This moment represents a landmark validation of our core belief that fusing a Bitcoin native treasury with decentralized AI is a paradigm shift in corporate value creation, said Satsuma CEO Henry Elder. Incredible news here, folks. All right, let's move ahead. Here's another news item coming out of the UK. UK's Smarter Web company raises $21 million via Bitcoin denominated bonds. This is interesting. So the Smarter Web company, a publicly traded UK-based company holding Bitcoin on its corporate balance sheet, raised $21 million through a Bitcoin denominated bond offering, making a rare move in the British capital markets. So again, things are heating up in the UK. They realize what's happening in the United States. We need to get going. We need to ramp up because the United States, we're going to steal their lunch, right? So all of these folks are going to be in competition now. And again, it's game theory playing out here. No one wants to be left behind. So in a Wednesday London Stock Exchange announcement, the Smarter Web company disclosed it had launched a Bitcoin denominated bond that has already raised 15.8 million British pounds, around $21 million. The bond was offered in a fully subscribed round backed by the French asset management giant Tobam. I've never heard of these folks, but this is very interesting. The new product, Smarter Convert, was designed in partnership with Tobam, with the French company investing through 3 of its managed funds. Tobam's CEO, Yves, I can't pronounce his last name, I apologize, said that the company is driven by a commitment to long-term alignment. Folks, the institutional herd is coming, and it's happening around the globe. This is so bullish. Final news item here. Tokenized stocks rise 220% in July, reminiscent of the early DeFi boom. So as Larry Fink, BlackRock CEO, said just a couple of years ago, tokenization is the future of finance. As we've been saying, the markets, the economies, and the governments will all run on blockchain, and they're going to tokenize traditional assets, real estate, and much more. It's all going to go on the blockchain. I've often said no more opening and closing bell. Markets will be running 24/7, truly global, more liquidity on ramps around the globe. People who were not able to access stocks or the stock market are going to be able to access it now. So it will provide financial inclusivity and opportunities for many people in developing countries and much more. So tokenized stocks may be approaching a tipping point as investor demand for blockchain-based financial products surges, potentially accelerating the adoption of traditional assets on-chain. Tokenized stocks, which are part of the growing real-world asset RWA tokenization sector, reached a $370 million market capitalization by the end of July, according to a Wednesday Binance research report shared with Cointelegraph. The lion's share, $260 million, was attributed to Exodus Movement. I've never heard of these folks. The shares were issued through Securitize. So many of you know Securitize. They helped BlackRock to launch their money market fund, or tokenized money market fund. And I've had the CEO and many representatives on the podcast. So excluding this figure, the market capitalization of tokenized stocks rose $53.6 million, marking a 220% monthly increase since June. So folks, there's a race happening here clearly, right? You got a lot of Wall Street firm. If you caught my interview with Robin CEO Vlad Tenev, and I published that about a day ago, guys, go watch it because he talked about Robinhood's plans to do this. And they have the infrastructure already, the brand, the retail customer base, and a lot of stocks, obviously, but they're going to move it to the blockchain, and they're building their own layer 2 on the Arbitrum blockchain. So clearly a massive race here, folks, and you're seeing crypto exchanges jump into the game. Coinbase announced they're going to be doing this. You have eToro, they've launched it. So has Kraken. So the really cool thing is that in addition to financial inclusivity and more reach around the globe, you're going to be able to do DeFi activities with these tokenized assets. And I think that's what really opens up a lot of opportunities, because you can, rather than just have the assets sit there, it can work for you. So yes, the asset price can appreciate as stock prices do, but if you have it earning yield and you're lending it out, and it's all done through smart contracts, you have another avenue to earn passive income. So that's what makes it a game changer. And that's why you have this race happening here. It's not just, okay, let's put it on the blockchain, but there's so many opportunities from a DeFi perspective, in addition to more liquidity, because if you open these stocks up to many other jurisdictions that couldn't touch it before, again, more liquidity, right? So guys, do you see where things are headed? Do you see the direction the puck is heading in? We're skating to that. And this is why we're taking our bets, and we want to look at which blockchains are being adopted for tokenization in addition to other things, because that's the utility. That's the building that's going to happen on these blockchains. And Metcalfe's law, Reed's law, right, as we have often talked about, will help increase the value and, you know, the transactions, the building, and all that. So exciting times. I know right now some of you are going to say, but Tony, the price. I know, but as we've been talking about, we are still in a macro bull market for all assets, real estate, crypto, stock market, and precious metals. Cryptos experience a cool down. So is the stock market. Markets can go up in a straight line. It's very simple. Look at the RSI I've been sharing with you guys, right? Look at my newsletter. We were in an overbought zone. We're coming out of that. We're heading near to the oversold. We're going to bounce and keep going. The thesis of global liquidity and all these things are still in play. The Fibonacci levels, the Elliott wave models, they all show nothing has been invalidated. So be patient. It's summertime, you know, here, at least in the United States. Go to the beach, go touch grass, right? And then when we start moving, which I believe will happen later this month, then you come back and we start getting ready to look to take profits. So make sure you got your plan though, right? So that's how I'm treating it. I haven't looked at my portfolio in like a week, right? Because I know it's down. There's no point. So I got to keep my mental health when it comes to investing. So hope you guys understand. These are just little tricks, right? Just don't look at your portfolio when it's down like this. So guys, bullish times are ahead. And I do believe the blow up top is going to come this year. So let's make sure we are prepared. Folks, a great way you can support me in the podcast if you appreciate my content is please subscribe to my free email newsletter. It's 100% free. It's on Substack. Link will be in the description. Check out my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital, and my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that teaches you every aspect of crypto, folks. No other course offers what this offers. It includes expert commentary, and you will hear from founders, CEOs, institutional investors, and much more, explaining the different topics around crypto. It will have full text write-ups, downloadable materials. So you pay a one-time fee, you get lifetime access. You can share that with your friends and family if you want. You go at your own pace. So again, no other course offers what this offers, guys. And for example, you can hear Carlos Domingo, the co-founder and CEO of Securitize, explain tokenization to you and how it works, right? So it's packed with a ton of value, folks. So check it out. Go to mycryptocourse.com. Folks, thank you so much for watching and listening. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.